Gunther Sorensen had once been a mine worker. After receiving a promotion, he bought a ring for the woman he loved, Orks. Before they could get engaged, however, a war broke out, as Necrons began to rise within the city of Hieronymus Theta. The two lovers were separated, and despite his best efforts and risking his life many times over, Gunther could not find her. He would join the PDF, be trained by the Krieg, and fight on the front lines in multiple battles. He had sacrificed his very humanity, all for her, all for Orks, so that he might be the hero she needed. Orks would be captured by a Necron cult, but would escape with a man named Tyler and be put in the security of the army. After the final battle of Hieronymus Theta, the Krieg had left in defeat, allowing a few select people of importance to go with them. Gunther was alone now. He slept when he had to, when his exhausted body had no option but to shut down. He didn't dream that way. He ate when he could find food, which wasn't often. He did his best not to picture her face. He remembered that last day, fooling himself he still had a purpose, helping with crowd control. He had had no gun, so he had been trying to make his voice heard in vain. He had heard her name, and the sound of it had been a jolt to his heart. He had thought himself mistaken at first, until he heard it again, spoken with venom, and he had realized then she had been so close all of this time. One of the very evacuees he had been striving to protect, and Gunther hadn't known, hadn't even wondered. He had elbowed his way to the front of the crowd, all thoughts of duty forgotten, and he had seen her there. For the first time in a lifetime, he had seen her. Orks. She was climbing the ramp to the rescue ship, surrounded by Krieg guardsmen, and he cried out to her, but she didn't hear him. She was walking away from him, 2 footsteps away from walking out of his life forever. But the Emperor must have heard his prayers, because she stopped. She turned. She looked directly at Gunther, and she looked exactly as he remembered her. Her round face, green eyes, and chestnut brown hair. He started towards her, found himself blocked by the Krieg cordon. He tried to explain himself, pleaded with them, but they wouldn't listen to him. Orks wasn't alone. A blonde, muscular man was brushing her hair, putting his arm around her, and she hadn't seen Gunther at all. She had eyes only for this new man, this man who was taking her away from him. He watched them go, disappearing into the dropship, and he thought, perhaps, it was best that way. He was pleased, he told himself. Against all odds, he had achieved his life's only goal. Orks was safe. She would be happy. They could never have been together anyway. They had always known it. Everyone had supposed these spaceports to be the Necrons' next target. Many had fled, tried to get as far from Hieronymus City as they could, to delay the inevitable. Even as they had left, more people had arrived to replace them. Gunther knew the truth, that it didn't matter what they did, which path they chose. He rested his head on the wall again, closed his eyes, wondered if he would have the willpower to keep them closed when the slaughter began.